What's up, guys? Matt here. So today I'm going to be kind of giving my thoughts about the law enforcement and all the kind of the rioting that's been going on in Seattle and in other states. Um, it just kind of giving my opinions about what I think of police and all of that. I've always been um, a fan of police and all of that. In fact, for many years, I always wished that I could be one. Um, I still wish I could be one. But, in reality, that's never going to happen. But uh, I definitely love watching, like, um, you know, police, law enforcement based TV shows, like uh, Chicago PD, Third Watch, uh, Law and Order, just things like that. Um, and I I know that there's been a back and forth about what people think of the police now and how they think that they should be defunded and all of that. And in fact, I think if I understand this correctly, I think that Seattle actually did do that. And it's like I think what people don't realize is that defunding the police, all that's going to do is affect us more than them. I mean, um, that's just going to like minimize uh, resources that they could do for us. Like as far as how many officers can respond to you if you need help, or how many. I know that I've seen in some news on social media. Well, um, there was a call. The police couldn't get to somebody because they didn't have enough vehicles or something like that. And I've always been behind law enforcement, and I still am. I that does not mean that I agree with everything that some officers do, or how they uh, just how they uh, how they handle things. But you gotta remember they we don't see what they see every day. Okay, I mean we don't. We get up every day. We get ready to go to walk, or we get ready to or we lay around the house, or we do. We just we're not law enforcement. We don't. A lot of us we don't understand where they are coming from. But I can kind of see that maybe they don't always see where we're coming from. And I know that that's, a big thing. Sometimes we're not, sometimes there's officers that'll, kind of jumpy, and they'll kind of like, they'll kind of um, afraid of, what you're going to do, or what you're going to, you know, how you're going to react, or something. And I think that at the end of the day, they want to go home to their families and wives and kids and all that stuff. And I think that I mean there's just so much hatred, so much violence, that it's just like it's getting to be, it's like enough already. The officers that have abused the power of law enforcement have been held accountable. Um, and so, I think that we need to, also realize that not all of them are like that. I mean, there's some really awesome, uh, you know, police officers around. I've said before, I live here in Puyallup, Washington, and I believe we have a really good police around in my area that I respect and all that, and but I know that in not all areas, I know it's not always like that, and I know that there's some. Officers that'll, I mean, they're assholes. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They're just, they're assholes. They just, I think that I think that they're just not cut out to, well badge, and they're just not, they're not cut out for it. They don't have the, you got to be able to have a lot of patience. You got to have self discipline, self control, all that stuff, and not everybody, they're human beings just like we are. Not everybody can do that, and but I think things definitely need to be, um, like the boss or chief or whoever of the department needs to kind of, make sure that they do training, make sure that they're together, that they can, still do it. Which I know in some states it hasn't been that way. Um, Now, as far as like the public, I can really understand. I mean, I think that people are afraid. I think people are angry. I think that they feel like they can't trust law enforcement. They don't know um, when they get pulled over or they get questioned or stopped. They don't know if they're gonna, if they're gonna be manhandled or like attacked or anything like that. So I think that they get afraid. And especially due to the incident that happened with George Floyd and many other people. Rather I mean, I think all lives matter. Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or disabled or anything like that. It's like everybody matters. And I think that when you don't feel safe and you feel like you can't trust officers and you can't trust you just you have all these emotions. I mean, heck, I have a lot of mixed emotions too. I mean, if I get talked to or questioned about about whatever it is, or it's like like I said, I'm physically disabled, so I don't. I mean, I'm a small guy. I have a lot of kind of health issues, and arthritis, and you know uh, scoliosis, and just things that and I'm not able to. I have very limited motion in my arms, so I'm not able. I wouldn't be able to put my arms above my head or behind my head or even really behind my back for that matter. So it's like I mean, how many people a day tell them, "Oh, I can't do that," or "Oh, I'm not gonna do that," or something like that. I mean, what do you do then? So there's a lot of officers that would understand that, but then there's other officers that might go, well, they might not believe you, and they might, take it as you resisting or not complying or not cooperating, and and so I get how scary that is. You just don't know. Um, but I've also never been in a situation where I had to put my arms behind my head or behind my back or anything. I mean, you know, I used to drink too much, and I used to get. Sometimes I'd get visits from them. They'd have to kind of haul me out. Have to escort me outside of a bar once in a while. But uh, they were you know nice as far as I know. I don't really remember, but um, I mean, it's the point is if you do what you're supposed to do and you don't cause issues. Like if you don't go and throw a hammer or throw a wrench and break a window or throw things at a officer or try to act like you're Bruce Willis or somebody the against the town or anything, then you should be all right. You got nothing but a lot of people they got like open open containers of beer or weed or whatever it might be, and that's not supposed to do that, and they wanna then they gotta search your car. A lot of people don't like that, and they don't respect authority. They don't like authority. They don't like. I mean, you can easily tell which ones are open to it and which ones are like hell no. Um, and when that happens, it's a little hard to for an officer to walk with you and all of that. But yeah, I mean, just like I said, the violence and the just the out of control. I mean, that is still many other ways to handle things than to just start breaking businesses and windows and stuff like that. I mean, there's just. I mean, I know, but I also know what it feels like to not be heard and not be respected, and you're trying to say your opinions and stuff, and everybody's just ignoring you, and you're like, I mean, you just, man, you just lose it. And unfortunately, that's what's the biggest part is that people are just afraid. It's like, can we trust them? Can we trust law enforcement? It's like, can we um, without them, being afraid for our lives, that they're gonna, whack you or something. I mean, it's like it should not have to be like that, but unfortunately, it has been, and there's got to be other solutions to doing to handling it. Um, But again, if you're gonna go out on the town with the intention of, you know, hurting somebody or breaking a window or trying to destroy a business, then yeah, I mean you're definitely gonna get dealt with by in any means, with any kind of force necessary to stop you from um, hurting yourself or other people, or because you're out there, you're a problem. I mean, so don't be a problem, and they and law enforcement won't have to yeah, they won't have to use force. But again, that does not excuse. There's a difference between detaining and force, and then just plain assault and mortal. I mean, that's not okay. Not okay at all. Um, I know that there's been officers that have done things that have overstepped multiple times to multiple situations and still have not been dealt with. So I get that, and that's not okay. We need to do a better job. I mean, the department, whoever is in charge needs to do a better job at making sure that officers don't use unnecessary force. It's like, if they are, having a bad day, I mean, then obviously that's something to question them about. Like, you can't send an officer out there on the streets and with a bad attitude and just not in a people mood, because you gotta have a lot of people skills to be able to be an officer. At least that much I know. Uh, but like I said, there's just gotta be other ways to handle uh, things, and because otherwise, it's just not gonna be a good outcome. And you can't just go and attack people, you know. Um, and that goes for on both sides, law enforcement and the general public. You can't just you know attack people and break things and all of that. I think that's pretty much something that we were taught when we were you know young, like 5 or something like that. You know. Um, but again, I understand that there's a lot of rage and there's a lot of you're not, you feel like people don't feel like they're being heard, or they don't feel like they can trust law enforcement or anything, and with the predicament that we're in, and everything that's happening, it just financial issues, mental health issues. In fact, I been kind of dealing with that. I mean, I've been dealing with that for years, as far as just um, depression and anxiety, and just kind of being afraid of what just kind of being worried about what the future looks like. And I mean that could break people. And I get that. I get that. But there's gotta be other ways. There's gotta be um, other ways to handle this, because again, you can't just um, self control, people. Self control. That's what it boils down to. But anyway, yeah. So that's all I got. So stay safe. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out my other videos and on YouTube. And yeah, stay safe.